Hi, I'm Janet Lucas. I am your American Literature teacher, English 244 at Peninsula College. This is my first attempt at making a video lecture. I've done audio lectures before, but never a video lecture. This video lecture isn't just going to be me being a talking head the whole time. In fact, I just thought that I would create this little introduction at the beginning just so that you could see what I look like and that I really am a real person. And if you see me on campus sometime, wave hi. Or stop by my office. I'm in C211. You can call me anytime at 417-6221. Once in a while you will see me here in the next couple of minutes look to my right or to my left, and that's because I have some notes taped up to my computer that is acting like my teleprompter. How about that? And you thought only the president had a teleprompter. So, I asked at the beginning of class for you to think about this class in terms of the relationship between culture, identity, and the literature you read. In other words, how do the people, real and fictional, play out in their historical time period and how they thought of themselves? People didn't always think of themselves as the rugged individualists that we think of ourselves today, that we're unique and have inalienable rights and so forth. So sometimes in literature that relationship is obvious and other times it isn't. In your reading, as far as the timeline goes, right here in the very early 1700s, we're coming toward a shift, a major shift in the way people thought of themselves. And this is due to a European movement that found its way to early colonial America too, that is called the Enlightenment. And if you have taken history, you're probably familiar with the Enlightenment. But this was the beginning of the scientific age, where people started thinking that there is a rational explanation instead of a supernatural one for the phenomena that happened around them. Explanation for the world and for people's relationship with each other and so on. An excellent yet unfortunate example of how people thought of themselves before 1700, and to show you what an enormous change happened after that, is the idea that people did not own themselves before 1700. And an example of how people did not own themselves is through the ritual of execution. And we see that in the Salem witch trials. I didn't ask you to read Cotton Mather, but it would be worth it to take half an hour out or so to read his little selection at the very end of the previous section, just before the introduction to 1700 to 1820. It's only about 3 pages. And he includes in his little work some transcript from actual testimony that convicted a woman of witchcraft at that time. Now, I warn you that there will be some graphic images in old woodcuts. And woodcut is a form of art where the image was drawn and cut into a piece of wood, and then it was stamped onto a page, and that was allowed images to be put in books. And woodcuts were an art form of themselves, but a lot of the woodcuts are pretty ugly. One of the images that I'll show you comes with the Norton Anthologies CD full of pictures that they sent me that I can use for class. And so that's going to be one, and some others I found on a free site. This lecture is based on a paper I wrote for a literature class that I took in my PhD program. So keep in mind it's near Halloween, and when you start thinking about witches and all sorts of horrible things, and unfortunately how people treated each other in previous bygone, thank goodness, days. So sit tight and watch the rest. You'll still hear my voice, but you'll see some PowerPoint slides. So here we go.